Hi, I'm Mike Graham, and this is Lighting Insights. Today, we're going to be talking about layered effects, specifically layered effects with a hybrid. We're going to be using our Maverick MK1 hybrid here, so let's take a look at how it works. So hybrid fixtures are typically seen as aerial effect fixtures, but they also do a lot more than that. Using hybrids for washes and for layered effects is a really cool thing as well. So today we're going to take a look at layered effects that the hybrids can do. We're going to be working with our MK1 hybrid in the Maverick series. We're going to start out with this open white look. We're going to add a split color. Again, all of our hybrids do split colors. The way this one does it is no different than anything else, but it's just a cool start to your layered looks. This fixture also does CMY color mixing. So here's cyan, and then here it is cyan with magenta rolled on top of it, just to give it a kind of a UV effect. And here's magenta and yellow to create red. And again, with all hybrid fixtures, we've got our static wheel, and it's a few examples of our static gobos. This fixture also offers a rotating gobo wheel assortment. These are all glass, so they are interchangeable if you do wish. Here's a couple examples. And like I said, they do rotate. One thing that we're introducing on this fixture at CHAUVET is our animation wheel. An animation wheel is essentially a gobo that spins in one direction or the other, but you don't see the center, so it looks like a continuing line of an effect. This is great for doing flame or wash or water effects. If I layer that with a star field, it gives me like this, it looks like I have twinkling stars. It's kind of cool. If I add a split color behind that, this was the red and the blue split, what this gives you is kind of a disco effect, which is pretty cool. And then you get that little bit of magenta in the middle, so the optics are actually mixing the colors. So it gives you this kind of a different look, kind of unique and pretty cool. But again, you have that twinkle effect. And this is a nice layered effect, and in this layer, you have a gobo, you have the animation wheel, and a split color, so you've got three things in the beam field. If we back the color out and add in our 8-facet prism, it gives us like a snow field now. So now you've got a really cool effect. If you've ever driven at night in the snow, this should look really familiar. If we change that gobo into a wobble gobo, you can see again some really cool layered effects here. So imagine this, shot over scenery. It's going to give you a very, very vibrant look, and it's going to make your scene look really alive and really kinetic. It's going to be really cool. So if I take my dot gobo and I take it out of focus, it's like this candy corn looking effect. Basically all it is your dots thrown way out of focus. And then I add in your effect wheel behind it. It gives you kind of a cool breakup thing going on. Again, it's kind of a cool thing for texture, it gives you something different to look at, and as an aerial effect, this is actually pretty cool as well. By again going back and adding split colors, changing my gobo up, and then adding in the 4-facet prism, I can give myself a different look. Just something that's really off the wall and big and textury, and again, just really cool. Something to play with. And then if I just keep on changing gobo, changing speed of my effect wheel, again, going back to my 8-facet prism, you get kind of a 3D effect. Just a big chunky effect, kind of cool thing for doing more and more texture. Because again, texture is the key here. So by changing a gobo and changing the speed of the effect wheel, I can give myself some more interesting and different looks. Again, this look is with the 8-facet prism, 4-facet prism, my effect wheel, a gobo, and a split color. Because this lamp has so much power and so much output, throwing a look like this across a big stage is not going to be a problem. It gives you great texture and allows those layers to just keep on shining through. But then by taking something out of focus a little bit and just letting the fixture play, you can create some interesting looks by doing that as well. With this look, what we're doing is we're going to show how a focus morph would work. So basically we're going to start out with this gobo in a 4-facet prism, a little bit of rotation to it. But you can see in the background, you can see that effect wheel kind of moving in the background. So if I go ahead and push go on that, let that focus kind of slide through, you can see that you get a cool transition into your effect wheel. And this is just, again, just a neat effect that you can do with transitions and layers. We hope you picked up a few tips today on how to best use your hybrids for textured and layered effects. Of course, there's a lot of looks we didn't cover today, so the whole key here is trial and error. See what they do. Experiment with different layers and textures, colors, gobo combination, and even prisms. Thanks a lot for watching, and we'll see you next time.